And so that brings us to, hard to believe, the fastest 3 hours I've ever seen in my life. Maybe this thing's gone fast. Brings us to our final speaker. I nominated this guy before he even knew it to be our keynote speaker for the event, if you will. I have an intro I'll read. Let's just do this first and then I'll really do my intro. Brent Gove is our keynote speaker, and since 1997, Brent has been successfully selling real estate in the Sacramento area. Following the example set by his parents, both longtime real estate agents, he and his team now sell hundreds of homes annually. This next number is kind of a big deal, having sold over 4,000 homes in the past 23 years and being the number 11 worldwide agent for his former home, Remax, along with running one of the largest Keller Williams franchises in the country. He's now with eXp Realty. He is a popular host of a top radio show, The Real Estate Report with Brent Gove on KFBK. He's a world traveler and in-demand speaker, that I know for sure. Brent is the author of the newly published Momentum, the definitive resource on how to become a super agent. Brent is passionate about both inspiring and teaching agents to not just be great sales agents, but to actually build a lasting real estate organization through eXp's platform and be an owner. He currently has over 11,000 agents in his organization. He says eXp has changed the way agents and brokers are compensated by owning a piece of the company through stock acquisition and participating in revenue share. Brent has been able to create a legacy that will go on for generations. His greatest and proudest achievement is his 28-year marriage to his amazing wife, Kathy, and their 7 beautiful children. So my introduction to Brent would be, I didn't know this guy. We never met. Hey, Brent, nice to meet you, right? This is the first time I've ever seen you in person like this. But I saw some broadcasts he was involved in, and I saw his passion for real estate. And I'm a guy who's obsessed with real estate. If you know me, you know it's largely all I think about. And I've always sought to build my business, seeking out who are the people I can model. I mentioned that when Jay Kinder was on here a while ago. I knew Jay before I knew Jay because I was modeling him. And I just, you can make it hard, you can make it easy. If you just find people to model who are doing things that you want to do, you can just go faster, farther. And I saw this guy talking about it, and I could hear his passion for real estate and for the company he was with. And then I heard him speak at the Shareholder Summit 2 weeks ago or so, and he just spoke. I can tell he's a guy that feels very passionately about the real estate agent. And then he threw up this idea of a real estate expo that he was going to do. And me being the good duplicator, ripoff, whatever you want to call it, I'm pretty good at that. I said, I'm going to do that. And so that brings us to today. Brent, thank you for joining us. Thank you for bringing this thing to a conclusion. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I know you're super busy. And so I'm going to stop talking now and let you do your thing. And I'll be back at the end to help us wrap it up.
Thanks a lot, Eric, man. It's a privilege to be here today. What a great show. I just heard Kevin Kaufman rock it out. Kevin, if you're still listening, you're a stud, man. That was awesome. Well, great to be with you guys. Great to wrap it up. I'm going to go hard. I'm going to go fast. We're going to get you out of here. One of my favorite quotes is this. It's by a guy named Walt Disney. And he said, your dreams and goals in life can come true if you have the courage to pursue them. But I have a question for you. Do you really, really even know what your goals and dreams are? So today I want to talk to you about vision. I want to talk to you about dreams. I want to talk to you about your life. So let me ask you a question. What do you want? Write that down if you're taking notes right now. What is it you really want with your life? Not this week, this month, this year. Like at the end of your life, what do you want your life to be about? So what excites you? What are you passionate about? So I really want you to spend some time thinking about that. Is it family? Is it travel? Is it giving? Is it maybe acquiring assets, building an empire? I don't know what your deal is. It's different for everybody. Mother Teresa was passionate about serving. Warren Buffett was passionate about developing assets and giving. He's very philanthropic. I don't know the man, but we all have, some people are passionate about golf, fly fishing, organic golf, and gardening. I don't know, but what is it that really turns you on? Maybe it's travel. Maybe it's you want to go to Maui or the Caribbean or Europe or see the pyramids in Egypt or the Great Barrier Reef or the Great Wall of China. There's so many cool things to do, right? The 7 wonders of the world. So I really want you to think about what turns you on. Maybe it's charitable organizations, the Salvation Army, missions, fresh water, bringing fresh water to people who don't have any. I mean, a $10,000 well can radically change the life of 80,000 people. And it's 10 grand, right? Maybe it's Make-A-Wish, orphans, widows. Maybe it's troubled youth. There's so many great organizations to be a part of. So here's my, as we wrap this up today, here's my charge to you. I want you to take a day, at least once a year. My partner, James Stroop, and I, we run this company together. His wife, my wife, our families, we've raised our kids together for 20 plus years. We go away twice a year, every 6 months, and we spend a day. And we go somewhere that inspires us. Go to the ocean if you can. If you're inland and you can't, maybe go to the mountains. I mean, go to the Grand Canyon, go to the Grand Tetons, go to the Colorado Rockies. Go somewhere that inspires you. And then don't go to Motel 6 or the Holiday Inn. Go hang out in the Four Seasons or the Ritz-Carlton or somewhere where there's waterfall going through the lobby. And it's free to sit there. Some of you are like, I can't afford that. That's your knee-jerk reaction. Get a cup of coffee in the lobby. You can afford to sit in the lobby. Self-park your car if you want. But what I want you to do is to grab a notepad and to come over here and to write down. And by the way, this is a complete list of everything the world owes you. In other words, the world owes you nothing, man. Nobody owes you a thing. Go out and make it happen. So get it, for me, a cup of coffee and yellow notepad and just create. I want you to dream. I want you to think about your life. What is it you want to do, man? And then so also when you take this time to get away and really begin with the end in mind, really think about what it is you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing. I want you to stop the night before at your local grocery store and pick up magazines on travel or finance or homes or boats or cars or giving, or there's magazines on everything you can think of in the world. And then cut out pictures. A picture's worth 1,000 words. Like when I think of bravery, courage, I think courage is a better word for me. When I think of courage, I think of Tiananmen Square. And I think of those tanks rolling in to kind of quash the rebellion of the student rebellion in Tiananmen Square years ago. And the communist China rolled in those tanks. And there's some dude who'd been at the grocery store. He has 2 white plastic bags in his hands. And he goes out and stands in front of a tank head on. And the tank just freaked out. They didn't know what they go. We can't run this guy over. Tank tries to go left, he goes left. Tank tries to go right, he goes right. And there's like 7 tanks behind that tank. And the guy like, they were so close, he literally stopped 7 tanks. Now that's courage. Some may say it's stupidity. I like to think of it as courage. Like, I don't know if I'd be brave enough to do that, to stand up for something you believe in, because you all want to have a great life. You want to sell 50 homes a year, 100 homes a year, 1,000 homes a year, 5,000 homes a year. This year, I'm going to do, I think we ran the numbers, about 48,000 closings. Good year. Started 3.5 years ago from scratch. I'm a part of a movement. But what is your movement? What is your vision, your dream? So once a year at a minimum, go away for a day. Don't make phone calls. Don't do emails. Don't text. Leave your phone in the car and just think, just envision, get inspired. And honestly, I think you should do it every 6 months. We certainly do it every 6 months and recalibrate, rethink. What is it we're doing? How can we do it differently, better? What has changed with our goals and vision? Because it's a moving, fluid deal. But the reason those magazines are important is they inspire you, right? It could be you want a cabin in the woods. Get the most beautiful cabin, something you want to work towards. Or giving, maybe a picture of Mother Teresa. She laid her life down in Calcutta. Now she's been, I think, knighted, and she's one of the most famous people in the world. What'd she do? Just love people. Just really laid her life down for others. So I want to challenge you there. So here's what I want you really to do is build a vision board. A dream board. Some people have a hard time with the word a dream board. They think it sounds corny. Okay, build a vision board. SpaceX just launched a rocket here in the U.S., in Florida, there off Cape Canaveral for the first time in a decade. I guarantee you that was a vision. I guarantee you they had schematics and maps, and they had pictured what they wanted. Do you clearly see what you want? Do you have crystal clear vision about your life? Man, I've been doing that my whole life, and I've succeeded in a lot of areas and different things I've done because I've always taken the time to go, okay, why am I going to work this hard? And then is it all work? No, it's boundaries. When you work, and when you play. When you're working, baby, work. Work like your life depends on it, because I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. It does. And when it's time to play, be present. Be at Little League, be at the soccer field, be at gymnastics or the pool, be at camping, be on the beach, and leave your phone in the glove box. That's right. Oh, no, I can't do that. What's more important to you, your clients or your children and your wife or your husband? You'll have a better life if you leave your phone in the glove box and you're actually there to your 13-year-old daughter, your 17-year-old son. Well, I'm not connected. It's because you're always on the phone. That's why you're not connecting. So I want to challenge you there. Let me ask you a question. Are you a wandering generality or a meaningful specific? That comes straight from Zig Ziglar. Most people go around life as, how's it going? Fair to middling, how's it going? Don't ask, and there's this, and when the people ask me, it's going great. Why? Because I have a goal, I have a plan, I have a vision for my life. I'm working, and when I'm not working, I'm playing. I just got back from Scottsdale for there Tuesday to Saturday, played 6 rounds of golf in 4 days. That's what turns me on. Playing True North and the Dinosaur and Gold Canyon and the Boulders and Eagle Valley and just all these amazing things that excites me. And it's like puts the wind in my sails. But what puts the wind in your sails? So, even Martin Luther King is famous for his I Have a Dream speech. And did he change the social fabric in America because he had a dream and he was a leader? So what's your dream? What do you want to do with your family? What do you want to do with your business? How do you want to be remembered in 500 years? Those people we remember from 2,000 years ago. There's that one guy, I think his name was Jesus. It's like the most powerful word in the world. You just say that word and people get excited or they freak out. But let me tell you what, how about you? How will people remember you in 500 years? Are you going to be a patriarch? Are you going to be a matriarch? Are you going to be a history maker? Man, or you just the dash? Born 1907, died 1988. Born 1865, died 1933, the dash. He was an awesome carpenter. He owned an awesome furniture store, sold a lot of furniture. Man, she sold so much real estate, she was number one for Coldwell Banker. He was number one for Remax or EXP or whatever. Maybe that's how you want to be remembered. I know I want to be remembered for being a loving, caring, giving, inclusive, not cliquey, but reaching out to everybody. That's how I want to be remembered. But I've actually thought about it. When was the last time you actually slowed down and smelled the roses? That comes from my grandfather. He died at 88, Dwight Timmerman Gove. I am Brent Timmerman Gove. I'm named after my grandpa. I was fortunate enough at age 10, he'd take me every summer in his motorhome because Grandma Hazel had diabetes and couldn't do the altitude. And he and I would go on fishing trips for 30 days at a time. I learned to fly fish on the Madison River in Yellowstone Park. I mean, it's just like an amazing moose and bears and raccoons and deer. It was just a great experience. I did that from age 10 to 18. Every summer, 30 days, me and Grandpa. But he always said, son, take time to smell the roses. So let me ask you a question. Are you enjoying the journey? It's not a destination. It is now. You got to fall in love with now. You got to love people now. You got to give now. I'll give later. You won't give later. If you're not giving now, you won't give later. I don't have any money. You can give a hug. You can get a word. Think back to the people who have made a difference in your life. They spoke a word. I mean, the biggest ripoff in the world, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Are you kidding me? Words feed your soul. Think back in your life, someone said something to you that just, man, it doesn't happen a lot, but you remember. Be that person. Be a light in a dark world, a lamp on a stand, a city on a hill. What kind of word can you speak into people's life about who they are and how, and you draw out their talents? I mean, that kind of stuff turns me on. And so, or do you just race through life? Are you taking time to be grateful? So here's what I want to do as I wrap up this talk. I want you to be focused. I want you to have laser focus. You could be here's what you don't want to be, the jack of all trades and master of none. Oh, I sell commercial real estate. I sell mobile homes. I do land. I do luxury. I do entry level. I do the middle level. I do, you're all over the place. What is it? I do property management too. And I'm a notary. And, and I can do your loan. It's like jack of all trades, master of none. I want you to focus. And so I want you to take the kind of a laser approach, condensed light versus shotgun approach. And most people go through life with the shotgun approach. So success means saying no to good things. In other words, there's some good things that have come along, and I'm telling you right now, you need to say no because it's going to disperse your light. It's going to disperse your focus. Again, I'll say it again. Success means saying no to good things. Sometimes you get to say no. You can't just say yes to every good thing, and then you're torn in too many directions. People will come to you with great idea after great idea, especially if you've been successful, especially. And I want to tell you, resist the temptation to chase the shiny lure. Just say no. Focus. Once you figure out where you're going, where are you headed? What's your ultimate destination? And then focus. In fact, if I could, I'd like you to condense that light further and become what's called an industrial laser, right? A lot of people have those pen lasers. They can point at the board at a PowerPoint. But industrial laser is so powerful, so condensed. It'll slice through a steel beam like butter. And what happens there is when you get that focused, you become unstoppable. You become this energetic. You have tenacity. You're tenacious. You're explosive. In other words, you get the big mo. You have momentum. In other words, what I'm saying is everything you touch turns to gold. Now, my secret weapon, on my knees before God, asking him to bless my efforts and to help me and just laying my goals and plans at his feet. But, everyone has their deal. Some people like to meditate. Some people like to thank their lucky stars, right? I like to thank the one who made the stars. That's my deal. May not be your deal. But what is your deal? What are you about? And just pursue that. So as I wrap it up here, bottom line, if you go hard at life and at what you're going after, it's easy. If you go easy at it and you poke it with the stick, it's like a diet, right? It's the hardest thing you ever done in your life. What is Zig? I love Zig Ziglar. He says, if you're hard on yourself, life will be infinitely easier on you. So don't be hard on anybody else. And another one, failure is a prerequisite to success. Put your chin out there, swing the bat. If you flop. I've always done well because I failed epically so much, but I got really good because I didn't do a little bit. I did a lot. And you were there at the beginning when I was terrible, but now I'm pretty good because I have worked. It's like snow skiing. It's like, boarding, snowboarding. It's like fly fishing. At first you're cooking yourself. And after a while you just, if you fly fish, you know what I'm talking about. Duck hunting. You were probably terrible the first time. You scared all the ducks away. So I'll end with this. Don't die with your music in you. Don't die with your music in you. What does that mean? It means this. I would rather dare mighty deeds and fail than to have taken my place with those timid and tepid souls that know neither victory nor defeat. So bottom line, I don't want to be the guy that aimed at nothing and succeeded. So as I leave you today, my charge to you today is, if you got anything out of this talk, right now, schedule a day and the next week or 2 or 3, and somewhere that inspires you. And go envision and create and think about what you want your life to be about, and then come up with the plans to move that direction. So it's been great being with you today. It was an honor to be your wrap-up speaker. Hopefully I've given you something good to think about. Eric, thank you for having me on. You're the man. And there you go. That was just my little nosh for you, and hopefully that worked out.
Dude, that was amazing. I'd love to come on here and say something to wrap it up. And I think the best thing I could do would be to shut up, literally. That was awesome. That was freaking awesome. But I want to say thank you. I just want you to know how much I appreciate you would come on here and do this. It was everything I hoped it would be and more. I can't wait to meet you in person, just because I can feel your genuineness, your passion for real estate and what we do. And
we'll see you in Dallas.
It's on my
Tony,
calendar.
baby, it's going to be great. Our leadership
On
event.
my calendar. Absolutely.
Got 4,000 people flying in for that this August 26th. I've actually got a call, so I've got to run. Thanks for having me on, Eric.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.